And maybe we could add too for membership, URL, maybe send a link, because there is a link embedded in the WLC. And as Shakira said, any amount counts. It's whatever's meaningful to you. And then you're a member. There's usually a question around what is a member? And it's really just kind of signing up to get our communications and giving that amount that's meaningful to you. So thank you, URL, for sending that around.
Thank you. So with that, I kind of want to reiterate some of our leadership changes. First and foremost, we wanted to thank Julie. Julie, we're going to miss you so much. Thank you for always being here for WLC, for always hosting the garden party. It's always an amazing event. I know you're not going to go far because you're going to stay on as like an advisor, and you will always be here helping us no matter what. I know you'll pick up the phone and help us out, but truly thank you for being my co-chair, helping me lead our amazing group of our amazing group at WLC, for being involved. So you will truly be missed, but I know you're not going far. And with that, I do also want to announce that Anne will be stepping up and will be our next co-chair. So she will be joining me as co-chair next year. So thank you, Anne, for stepping up, and we're really excited. But with that, there is an open position in the networking and mentoring committee chair. So if you are interested, let's have the discussion and especially start talking with Anne on what it entails. And we love to join.
Oh, Shakira, you're muted.
Nope, I'm not sure why I got muted, but okay. So yes, you heard of Anne. We're filling her position in. All right. With that, again, Urel also has moved to the alumni office, and therefore now her programming committee chair is open. And as she mentioned before, you know, we are looking for people who are willing to step up and lead this amazing committee. There is a committee, so it's helping and working with a committee and think of a diverse programming that we want to provide for our members. Again, thank you, Catherine, for being with us for the last 2 years. It's been an honor to work with you and serve with you. I know the Board of Fellows are very lucky to have you. So she's not going anywhere far. She, as one of our goals, is to help find women to fill other positions and fill those leadership roles. And Catherine is doing that. She is now joining the Board of Fellows. So thank you, Catherine. I know you will represent for us and be our voice on the Board of Fellows, along with Tara, who will be rolling off the Board of Fellows soon. But thank you for stepping up and joining us this last year as co-chair and now chair of the engagement committee. Any other people? And again, we are looking for volunteers. Join us. Start off as a committee member if you just want to start with something small. Also, just for ideas, if you have ideas, send them our way. We're always looking for ideas. We are looking for people to help us with our social media so that, you know, we can get our name out and our word out and all the great events that we're putting together. We want to make sure that it's accessible to everyone, and we need your help. So I think with that, is there anything else, Urel, on our side? Okay. So with that, I would like to welcome Mitch, who will be giving us a bicentennial update. And then after that, we'll be opening up to Q&A to either the WLC or to Mitch about any update. And so he will be speaking on behalf of the college on what they're doing and giving us an update for bicentennial updates. So welcome, Mitch, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much. I am incredibly grateful to be speaking with this group today about the bicentennial. You clearly have had so many just amazing events over the past year. I want to say at the start that Judy Dwarren was my thesis advisor and Diana Rose Smith was my advisee. So that event in particular sounds just amazing to me. But I'm here to speak to you about what I see as obviously a momentous occasion for the college, but also a momentous opportunity for the college to celebrate 200 years, to celebrate our bicentennial. We started off with the, for lack of a better phrase at the moment, the tagline, committed to the future since 1823. And we decided on that phrase because we really wanted this to feel like an event, a connected event, an event which will demonstrate 200 years as a continuous narrative. Oops. One second before we get to the video. As a continuous narrative and not a series of graduating classes, series of graduating years. That a bicentennial is always an opportunity to both examine the past and to be able to see the future as something informed by that past, informed by that history, which will hopefully open up innumerable possibilities for us as an institution. That the first thought that I want to suggest is that 200 years does not represent an end, it represents a beginning. That the institution, this is a moment for us, this is a moment for us to recognize that the institution is unfinished. And instead, we can think about it as a living culture, as an ongoing story, which all of us, hopefully, will be able to tell together so that we can represent a diverse set of voices, experiences, and possibilities, both for all of you, as well as for the alumni that are entering this coming year or over the next 10, 50, 100, 200 years. So we'd like to play this video for you, which is just 30 seconds to get us excited about the next 200 years. And you can go ahead. Great. So we had our bicentennial, the kickoff for our bicentennial was on May 5th. We chose this date in particular because we wanted to make sure that our current campus community, the current students at the college, were able to celebrate the start of the bicentennial with us. That I recognize that our charter day was not for another week and a half or so, but by then many of our students would be gone, and we wanted to make sure that they had a chance to feel and experience and celebrate this particular moment. And what I do want to emphasize is that while this bicentennial kickoff was on May 5th, this is just the beginning of what hopefully will be an incredible year for the entire campus community. That at this kickoff we had bands, student bands, and invited local bands. We had carnival games. There were various carnival foods that everyone was able to enjoy. That there were not only students, but faculty and staff and families that were all cohabitating on the quad and interacting in a way that I think demonstrated what's wonderful about belonging to an academic community. And I think it's really critical that as we're talking about the bicentennial, as you're imagining possible potential ways that you might interact with the celebration, that the bicentennial was never meant to be a lecture. It was never meant to be just a presentation. Rather, I think it's critical that the bicentennial is demonstrating the possibilities of how we want to, of the best ways we want to act as a community, the ways that we can be in dialogue together, to be able to collectively examine and grow the institution in what hopefully will be remarkable ways. If we can go to the next slide, please. So as I said, about a week and a half later, we had our Charter Day to officially recognize 200 years. That we were really beautifully able to raise the flag over the Capitol downtown. We officially announced our status of being a level 1 arboretum, which was just amazing to be able to get there and to be able to recognize the ongoing beauty of our campus, but also that we need to prioritize it, both in this current year of celebration, but in an ongoing way. And as part of Charter Day, in addition to publicly announcing our status as level 1 arboretum, one of the few in the state, and recognizing our incredible trees in our campus that I'm sure you all remember and fondly look back on, we also started a new tradition where each Charter Day going forward, we're going to plant an additional tree on our campus to continue to grow the beauty of our campus, to call attention to our own prioritization of sustainability, and environmental caretaking that's also critical to our identity as a campus. In June 9th to 11th, and I don't know how many of you were able to attend. I hope many of you. It was after a little bit of a rainy Friday, a little bit of a rainy start, it was a beautiful Saturday afternoon, evening celebration where we had a number of incredible, I had a number of incredible interactions. I was able to enjoy, the Women in Law panel, a conversation with George Will, the Samba Ensemble was out, Aloe Black performing in the evening. The day before, we had a Future of Hollywood panel, which was just super inspiring to see my classmate from 1996 return to campus once again. But really, it was an opportunity in to walk through campus and to see the depth of community that we have, that there's really this great potential for Trinity that we realize in these particular moments or particular dates or purposeful or intentional events such as the Alumni Bicentennial celebration or a homecoming. But it's something that I really am focused on becoming, that we're practicing the way we want to act in the more continuous basis. So hopefully, even if we're engaging as a community at these discrete moments, we can work together to figure out how this becomes an ongoing conversation, so that this is just a part of our regular practice as a campus community. So I don't know how many, I know we sent out messages. I don't know how many of you have navigated there yet, but we have an incredible Bicentennial website, which has been developed, which, as you can imagine, is unbelievably challenging to tell the story. How do we tell the story of 200 years of an institution when even on this call, there's such a wide variety of stories, of pathways, of possibilities. And on this site, you're able to navigate by decade, by region, by topic, that you're able to look across as is meaningful for you at 200 years of Trinity. And as part of this website, where we have this 200 years portion, where we can navigate through and sort of read these and examine these various moments across 200 years, but we also critically have a 200 stories section of our website. As many of you may know, that there is a Trinity history book that was written by Peter Knapp through the end of the 20th century, which is really incredible. But it's also incredibly, not incredibly, but it's also limited, both in terms of the time of that history that's being told, or the duration, but also the idea that it's being told by a single individual, which obviously limits the perspective that one might have of the institution. So we very deliberately created this 200 stories website, and we're going to end up with, hopefully, definitely, far more than 200 stories, with the idea that we are all capable of telling a great story. We are all living great stories. And that in order to capture a full view of 200 years, even a full view of the last 23 years now. Oh my gosh. We need all of your contributions. And this is a critical space where I think listening to about even this 1 year and the mission of this group, it's critical that we have your stories as part of this document of the bicentennial, which has the potential to be dynamic and inspiring and challenging. And will actively guide the next 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 years as we establish what are our commitments going forward. And knowing that they came from not this very moment, but came from all of our experiences, all of your experiences with Trinity over the past many years. That I hope you see this as an opportunity for ongoing engagement, for ongoing dialogue. And there are a number of opportunities as we look to the fall and beyond for engagement throughout the bicentennial. On July 12th, we have our first 1823 series event. The 1823 series is a free series designed for our entire campus community. And that includes faculty, students, staff, alumni, the Hartford community. We really want these to be events where people have the opportunity to come together on a regular basis. So the first of these events is the Bicentennial Carillon Concert on July 12th, where we're going to be performing Fanfare 1823, which is a composition commissioned for the bicentennial. In addition, Christopher Houlihan, who is our unbelievable organist, will be performing a special concert as well as part of that evening. And there will be a free dinner available for anyone who would like to register. This is free and open to all. In addition, over the course of the academic year, there are a number of incredible opportunities to be on our campus, ranging from every varsity team having 1823 designated games and receptions, to Cinestudio showing 7 films over the course of the year, 6 films for each of the decade that they've been around, and then a 7th film that's meant to somehow demonstrate the value and the contributions of Cinestudio over its 60 plus years on our campus. In addition, from October 13th to the 15th, we have our Bicentennial Fall Weekend, which is going to, for the Bicentennial, fabulously combine homecoming and family weekend. There'll be a number of athletic events, fall sports events, opportunities for dialogue, for conversation, for recording stories. There's going to be a unbelievable performing arts event called Joy, which is created by an amazing artist, Tandy Beal, who's developing this performance for Trinity, along with the chair of the Theater and Dance Department, Professor Peter Kyle. That'll include Cirque du Soleil and a cappella and dance, and it should be just an opportunity for everyone to smile together. Looking forward, in addition, there's going to be 2 bicentennial symposia, one held November 14th on memory, presence, and possibility, and one held on February 28th on reflection and action, the flexible strength of the Trinity's liberal arts education. And these are going to be full day events where all classes and hopefully meetings will be canceled for those days. And that it's an opportunity for our entire community to come together and engage in panel presentations, roundtable discussions, workshops. There's going to be a zine making workshop for those of you that remember zines as being a thing that exists in the world. There's going to be opportunities for recording stories. There's going to be opportunities just to engage we're going to create a living library. So an opportunity for people to tell their stories in a one-on-one basis, even throughout the library. There's going to be a keynote event with the amazing poet and author Claudia Rankin, as well as a number of other wonderful performance opportunities. And again, I know I think I have limited time, so I'm trying to go quickly, and I apologize if I'm taking too long. But there's going to be a number of other 1823 events throughout the year, including lessons and carols in December, a special Samba Fest in the spring, a special Hip Hop Fest in the spring, a January virtual toast around the world, another Charter Day celebration with hopefully a really significant recognition from the state, and of course our Bicentennial Gala at the end of the academic year, which is going to be just an amazing, amazing opportunity for us to come together with a special performance by Polin and Libre, and a time for us to really honor the history of Trinity and express commitments going forward. Of course, what would a bicentennial celebration be without great swag? It feels like great swag to you. You'll notice, and I know there's divided opinion on this, that we have a special color added to the Trinity palette for the bicentennial year. This persimmon is what we're calling it. And really, this is only for this 1 year. It is not going to extend beyond graduation of the next academic year. But among all the other sort of signage and symbols and points of representation for Trinity, we wanted this bicentennial celebration to stand out, to have those celebrations stand out, those opportunities for engagement stand out so that people pay attention to them and hopefully can take advantage of those opportunities. And so we have our various pieces of bicentennial swag. I have my cup that you can't see because my computer is blurring it out, but it's amazing. We have bags and hats and shirts and other items specifically developed for the bicentennial to mark, again, what is an incredible opportunity for the college and one we're working, tirelessly to take advantage of. I think that's our last one. Thank you all so much for letting me talk to you for a few minutes. I do hope you have questions because, as I said earlier, the bicentennial should not be a presentation, it should be a dialogue. And I would love to hear from you in terms of your hopes, both for the bicentennial celebration, but also your thoughts looking forward for the institution.
Mitch, if you wouldn't mind, I have a question for you as everyone's trying to think, well, what am I going to ask him? What is your, did you volunteer for this role? I mean, you're class of 96, you're a member of the staff. How does this feel to you?
It feels humongous. And it feels intimidating at times, frankly, but it really does feel amazing. I've actually spent more than half of my life at this point as a student and working at Trinity. And, the reason I spent so much of my life here is because there's so much possibility for Trinity. And there are moments where we've seen that possibility realized. And there are other moments where we haven't. And I'm sure you all have felt that, as well. In really acute ways, and I see this as an opportunity maybe to bring some more of to foreground some more of those possibilities. That is really has the potential to be just inspiring and incredible and a great representation of who we are as a community.
Thank you. I think I feel the same way.
Urel, could I just make one comment?
Yes.
For Mitch. Mitch, I was lucky enough to be on campus that weekend. It was my 35th reunion. And we had a wonderful turnout from our class with over 100 people, many of whom had not been back for years. So it was particularly inspiring and reflective for them to be back on campus for the bicentennial weekend, because we had over 1,500 alumni come back to the college to celebrate that weekend. And I think one of the takeaways that many of us found as we were leaving on Sunday was the spirit of Trinity. And it was not only to celebrate reconnecting with classmates, but also to meet so many people that may have been on one of your buffer years just ahead of you or behind you, and also to meet alumni from many other years, decades even before us, for some of us. And everyone really enjoyed having that opportunity to reconnect and meet and learn about other people's experiences and what they were doing with their lives as Trinity graduates. And so I would encourage any of the folks that are on this call today, if you have not been able to attend the Bicentennial, make a plan to participate in some of the things that are going on this fall. I mean, the Bicentennial celebrations will last through next spring. And you really will find that it's wonderful to be back on campus if you haven't been in a while, but also to have that opportunity to meet with faculty and staff and students and other alumni that you may or may not have seen or don't know yet, but will be very happy to meet in the future, because it really was a wonderful weekend to have those kinds of relationships develop. So thank you for all of your hard work in your committee. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience, and I'm so glad I was there for it.
Oh, thank you so much. I was so really inspired by that weekend and seeing the number of people that came back and the diverse population of people that came back. And I really see that it's the beginning of an opportunity. And I agree, like our campus is so beautiful. It's unbelievably beautiful right now. And I encourage, if you're able to come back, please come back for any one of our events, right? I think it would be amazing to be able to host you on the campus, but even if you can't, there's going to be a number of opportunities throughout the year to even engage from a distance, to be part of a Zoom conversation, to live stream a keynote speaker from one of our symposium. I think there's going to be these various opportunities for you to connect, and I hope that you consider doing so.
Mitch, I had a question, if that's okay, and I echo Tara and saying thank you so much for all of your hard work on this. Do you have any thoughts or ideas on how the WLC could partner or better support the bicentennial efforts? I'm just seeing all the events that you have planned, which is terrific, and even thinking like a WLC night at Cine Studio, or certainly encouraging the virtual toast in easy little ways. But are there other ideas or things, or as one of the planners, that you envisioned groups like the WLC partnering with you on?
I think that it happens. I would hope that it will happen in a number of ways. I think, like, you even brought up, like, that's an amazing idea to have a WLC night at Cine Studio. It's really amazing. I want to make sure that you're able to connect to our current women on our campus, I think, and find ways to have that happen on a regular basis, right? Because it's critical. It's critical for them in terms of the way they feel like they're belonging at the college and what they see as possible in terms of their own stories and how it's playing out. I can think of, I know I was speaking with the chair, for instance, even as an example, of the computer science department tomorrow, who's developed this incredible Women in Computer Science program at the college that would be wonderful to bring forward and allow her to connect with you all and think about what she's doing, but how also it can connect to your own programming and your own work, your really incredible work that you've already have taken place on an ongoing basis. Right. I think that I want to make sure that as part of the symposium that you feel welcome and invited, not just as an audience member, but as an actor. And I think too often, both probably at the college at various times when you were students, but also, when you're returning, you feel like you're sort of there as a spectator. And I think I want you all just really I want to be able to foreground your voices as part of these events. So you do feel like important actors in the event, and yet you're able to not only listen, but direct the story in a kind of way.
Thank you so much.
I do want to say, because I didn't highlight it enough, that I have an incredible co-chair working with me on the Bicentennial, Hellen Hom-Diamond, who's the Vice President of Strategic Marketing and Communications. She is an unbelievable partner to have in this bicentennial process and celebration. And I know that she wanted to be here today. She had an accident, she hurt her knee this morning and needed to attend to that and have that taken care of. She was incredibly sad not to be able to join the meeting today, but I do want to call attention to her contributions, that she is an absolutely incredible partner and someone who is really committed to Trinity in the way that I know all of you are as well.
I don't know if you can see, there's a question in the chat. Would you like me to read it? Okay.
Sure.
Chris Ann wrote a great comment. She said, Mitch, sincere kudos to you and your team for all the incredible work planning and executing the bicentennial events to date. Will the bicentennial live stream events be added to the Long Walk series?
we're certainly going to be doing sharing communication and sharing events between the Long Walk series, between a monthly bicentennial newsletter that's going to go to everyone on this call. But those events will definitely be highlighted, and we'll make sure that they're included as part of and as part of that series, so that you all know when they're taking place. Because I feel like it's the worst when you feel like something happened and you missed it, or it was this sort of secret show that only a few people know about, or you had to, look at the fine print. We want this to be in bold. This should not be in the fine print, and hopefully it's something that all of you have on your radar throughout the year.
So I think with that, I wanted to thank everyone for being here today and for just taking the time out to know what the WLC has been doing this year. We couldn't have done any of the programming or mentoring or any engagement without all of your help. So thank you for being part of the WLC. Thank you, Mitch, for giving us an update on the amazing bicentennial celebrations going on all year. And I'm definitely looking forward to. And with that, we also wanted to thank Julie for your leadership. Again, we're going to miss you so much. Thank you for everything you do for the WLC. And we look forward to you joining us as an advisor. And again, for your gardening party, because those are always fun. And if you have not, if you're in the area and you haven't been, you definitely want to be there.
Please do come. But Shakira, thank you. And thank you to this group. It's been an honor to serve the college with the WLC, and every piece of the puzzle, every program, everything we've done has been just incredible. And I look forward to staying involved. And thank you, Mitch, for your talk today, and look forward to being involved in the bicentennial. And you guys know my kids are teenagers, so I'm pulled in a million directions, but I'm going to do as much as I can. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for joining us today, and hope you have an amazing day. And this recording will be out there, so share with your classmates and friends.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.